Hi, I'm Nat.
And I'm Guy, and the big stories for today are Oprah's Tsunami. Sydney Sweeney still in the headlines. The WNBA gets more than what they collectively bargained for, as well as Kamala Harris down and out. And finally, we go over to RUMBLE, otherwise known as the Green Monster for Mexico, the digital surveillance state. It has begun.
Yes.
Okay, why don't we get into the first story here? And that's actually Oprah. It came up late in the day. I seen this story. She's eventually opened this private road, but why don't you give them the synopsis of what was kind of happening?
So, from the squadron, it says people in Maui, Hawaii are trying to escape the tsunami and are begging Oprah to open the private road on her property. She's reportedly still refusing. In a crisis, blocking an escape route is inhumane. But then a lot of people started saying that, adding context, saying that the road is open according to the Maui Police Department. Now it is, but apparently for a while it wasn't.
Yeah, now it is, but people were begging for her to kind of open it. There was a huge line of cars trying to get in. The police were there guarding it, blocking it, and making sure nobody passed this gate. People were all over social media pressuring Oprah Winfrey. It kind of went viral, so eventually she had to open the gate. The funny thing is, I actually used to live in Maui, and yeah, there are a lot of private roads like this. This specific private road is quite a large private road, and I'm surprised that this is even legal for her to have. And in a natural disaster, the police should have just cut the lock and let the people in. Why don't we go to some of the...
I couldn't bring myself back.
Why don't we go to some of the videos of the people in Maui kind of talking about this, or the videos of the cars?
So there was one video in that other one you had highlighted. So this one, don't know if they're speaking or not. No, there's no sound.
Okay, this doesn't show anything. Let's go to the other video that I had highlighted. I'm not sure where you got that video.
Oh, it was on the first post we showed.
Okay.
In the first post we showed, sorry. From Ellis Allen. People are fleeing a tsunami and Oprah's road was off limits. Maui police are physically stopping evacuees from using her private road. If Oprah's road was open, we could escape. Instead, we wait and pray.
And this was one of many videos actually showing it and having people kind of plead to Oprah to open these gates. The fact that they have to plead to Oprah, and I have no idea why the Maui police did not cut the lock and let the people in.
But then it says she finally opened it after pressure. America is over the elites.
Look at this. I think they're trying to open Oprah's road. Come on, Oprah. Save us. Road to all the way up country, bro. All the way up country. She got it all to herself. And everybody trying to get in. Cops trying to open it. Nope. Still closed. Man. She got her own road from Wailea all the way up country, which is the safe zone. And she won't even save us. Now, I don't know that, but road's still closed. People are still passing it.
Yeah, because of music. Why do they make videos with music?
Anyways, yeah, so that's pretty interesting. The fact that the cops aren't opening the road, it might be hard to see there, but there are two big, huge metal gates that are kind of blocking it. There was a chain lock on there, so somebody would have to come cut the chain. Eventually, I would have expected somebody to ram it if the cops weren't there. The fact that the cops were there protecting this gate when a tsunami is going to potentially wipe out homes and lives along the coast, I would think it's far more important to get people to high ground rather than guard Oprah's property.
And let's not forget, this is not the first time it happens around Hawaii or Oprah. There were the fires as well, where she also did not want to cooperate. And then she started begging other people to donate money while she didn't mention or say what she donated. And also the huge scandal she has with trying to, empower girls in Africa, where it turned out they were getting anything but empowerment. And if you want to look into that, look into the school she opened in Africa and all the scandals that came after, and how she essentially just forgot that she had done that and stopped, supporting it or saying anything about it.
Yeah, Oprah's organizations have some very strange connections with children. I'm not going to go too much in that because I don't want to make any allegations, but I will say, yeah, we'll just kind of leave
She's
it at
gross. But, she did come out and try to, say This is from Fox News. Oprah Winfrey hits back and claims her private road on Maui estate was closed during tsunami evacuation. Videos circulated online showing a man outside Winfrey's property and asking her to save us, which is, I believe is the one we just saw.
Yeah, and this is why social media is so important, because the public can put immense pressure on the elites, the rich, and people that own private property that maybe they shouldn't own, especially in an evacuation situation like this.
Yeah, so Oprah Winfrey is pushing back against accusations that a private road on her Maui estate was kept closed as local residents tried to flee to safety during a tsunami evacuation. A spokesperson for the billionaire shut down the accusations and said the claims were not true. But then what about the video? I mean, somebody could go and verify if that was Oprah's property and if people were not. I mean, it's easy. As soon as we heard...
Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah, we did verify with the video right there that the cops were guarding the gate, not letting people in, which was crazy. And there was multiple videos of this gate being closed.
But again...
everybody knows that's Oprah's property over on island. I used to live in Maui, so...
And I was going to say, a lot of people might be able to say, oh, who knows if that's actually her property. But there are enough people there and that live around there and that are around there that could confirm or deny this. So as soon as we heard the tsunami warnings, we contacted local law enforcement and FEMA, great help they are, to ensure the road was opened. Any reports otherwise are false, a spokesperson for Winfrey shared in a statement to Fox Digital. Local law enforcement are currently on site helping residents through 50 cars at a time to ensure everyone's safety. The road will remain open as long as necessary.
Yeah, I used to live over in Maui with a actual tribe in the mountains for about a year, and that being said, there's a huge animosity between traditional tribes and local Hawaiians and the tourist community, the ultra elite and rich like Oprah Winfrey. Yes, they employ people and help build, but they do not necessarily. What are you doing, Nat? Just come back to the show. I don't want to be doing. Just leave it.
Just keep going.
Okay, we're gonna go into the next story now. And the next story is going to be American Eagle in Sydney Sweeney. I guess I'll go over to her seat.
Keep telling me the story about you living in Hawaii. I was letting you comment on you living in Hawaii.
It's distracting when you're messing with the dog now. Okay,
I was trying to fix things without people having to be distracted by it as well. Because I know you can go into long diatribes about you living in Hawaii.
Oh, no. I didn't want to. Let's go into the next story.
Fine. Back to Sydney Sweeney, I guess, because this controversy just does not stop. And people continue to make it, into a thing when it really shouldn't be, in my opinion, and it's insane. But you can go and do your thing.
Let's bring up the article and talk about it a little bit.
Okay, so the first one, and there's a lot of these kinds of videos saying, this is from Colin Rugg, woman says the American Eagle Sydney Sweeney ad brought back her childhood trauma as a brown girl. It's so difficult to grow up as a person of color, specifically a woman, and view yourself as beautiful in any sense of the word. The professional victims are relentless.
Yeah, and we have quite a few takes from leftists on this that we're going to show today, as well as Dunkin' Donuts came out with a very similar ad, and the left is going absolutely insane. And there's more information of what American Eagle is actually doing.
I really wasn't going to weigh in on this, but here we go. It is so difficult to grow up as a person of color, specifically a woman, and view yourself as beautiful in any sense of the word growing up in this country. I remember growing up in a predominantly white community, wishing myself out of this body, out of this culture, take my name, if it meant that I could wake up blonde-haired and blue-eyed, never having to explain who I am or worry about being accepted. That is why
This seems like a her problem. I know plenty of people that are more minorities that have no issue. She's having some self-issues, and maybe she's having an identity crisis. Maybe she's had an identity crisis most of her life, but this isn't everybody. Maybe I have no idea why she's so insecure here. But
And also the left has allowed this type of victimhood mentality to flourish everywhere. So people feel now like they have maybe always felt that way, then when maybe that was not the case, because especially during the 90s, early 2000s and 2010s, the whole, exotic whatever, insert race here, was more common and prevalent than, blonde white women as well in some media circles.
An Eagle ad with Sydney Sweeney is especially off-putting. There's a lot of rhetoric right now online about the political ideologies that this represents, and I don't discount that, but for me, I can't help but think about the 13-year-old brown girl who gets all her denim at American Eagle, who already struggles to see her beauty and worth in a world that continues to value white, Eurocentric beauty standards.
And that's completely untrue. American Eagle has had some of the most diverse ad campaigns of anybody.
Yes.
Maybe when she was growing up, it was different, but over the last decade, why don't we show one of the ad campaigns they actually had there?
Let me try and find one of them.
And this is kind of crazy saying they have this white Eurocentric. This is one ad they did, and they get
Yes.
called out immediately for not being diverse, and they have been diverse for over a decade now. Their stock price dramatically shot up overnight after the Sydney Sweeney ad. It went from $10 to $12. They began to pull some of these ads, and once they started pulling the ads, the stock price started to drop again. It was starting to become a meme stock. A lot of conservatives were getting behind the brand to kind of pump it up and show support to say, keep these ads up. We do like these ads. Instead, they're starting to pull the ads and they won't hold their ground.
Some of them. But not that long ago, Aerie was being praised by the left and the wokes for being so diverse and so open, not airbrushing any of their models or any of the actresses they would put on there, and how they were trying to accentuate natural beauty. And I mean, I just Googled a few, but I mean, you can see there was plenty of this, and they were being praised all over the place. Why doesn't it let me go back up? They were being praised all over the place about these kinds of ads that they were doing.
Why don't you show the ad?
Google
that
is
I
being
had
annoying.
pulled?
Well, this one, the one you pulled is a little bit more recent, but let me find it. No. There we go. So this was another one they had. This was a previous spokesperson before Sydney Sweeney. So the fact that they're now losing their minds is because they're losing their ground and they're losing their grasp on the culture and what they expect the culture to do. But the fact is, maybe culture moves. Maybe we can be even more diverse and include all kinds of people, not just the ones that you want to highlight and make seem like are the most important ones of all.
And I think that's the big point. It's not that we need Eurocentric white people all over every ad. We don't mind diverse ad campaigns. You do need to appeal to people with those body types. I do understand that, and I think that's completely fine. But don't call it out the one time they put Sydney Sweeney and they kind of lean into it, because they lean into LGBTQ and body positivity and everything else. So if they're going to put a white person on the ad, it's fine to lean into that as well, just like they do with all the other demographics.
And at the same time, with American Eagle specifically, I did not shop there for the longest time because they were so woke, and I decided not to patronize those kinds of stores. Same with Abercrombie and Fitch, same with Victoria's Secret. All of these, mid-priced, cheaper to mid-priced brands were going all out for the past 10 years. They were doing exactly what this girl wanted and highlighting diverse beauty, etc., etc. And the one time that it's not the thing that they're expecting, they go insane because they thought they had such a grasp in the culture, while the culture and normal people in general were telling and shouting from the rooftops, stop it, we don't care, this is not representative of everybody as you're trying to pretend to.
You have to realize this is an extremely woke company, and I know we have a little bit of a difference of opinion on this. I think they put this ad out there expecting the right might not support it as much as they did. There was a major stock jump, like I said. I think there was almost too much support, and this ad was far too successful. And I don't think the elites in the company necessarily wanted that.
Well, the problem is it was successful because the left initially did this whole insanity. So the right is obviously going to respond and lean into the meme and lean into their ridiculousness and their analysis. And the fact that they're all being raised by ChatGPT, have no critical thinking skills, and don't understand what sarcasm or even, yes, sarcasm is. That's what they're doing. They're doing a play on words, but obviously they have to go and find any kind of victimhood wherever they can, and any kind of, that's what critical race theory or just critical anything theory does, is find what they can criticize about a specific thing, even though the thing might not even be there, or the ism might not even be there.
Okay, why don't we check out a couple other reactions, and these were fairly good reactions I kind of pulled. I thought they would bring a little bit of humor to the episode, maybe.
There was an article before that. Do we want to go to the article?
We'll
Or?
go to the article, then we'll go into the reactions.
So from The Atlantic, so of course, Wokie's source of where they get information. The Atlantic says a discourse is broken. How did a jeans commercial with Sydney Sweeney come to this? Because outlets like yourself have been able to paint race into everything. Sydney Sweeney is inexplicably reclining and also buttoning her jeans. Also, let's remember this ad is alluding and even parodying or mimicking in a way the ad from, what was that actress's name?
This is probably
Brooke Shields.
This is probably
Yes.
the most successful ad campaign American Eagle has ever done. The amount of free press they're getting from this thing is absolutely insane.
The jeans play is a variety garden dad pun, but when uttered by Sydney, a blonde, blue-eyed actor whose buxomness and comfort in her own skin seems to drive everyone just a little bit insane and jealous.
Why won't they call her an actress? Why are they calling her an actor?
Where did they call her an actor?
Blonde hair, blue-eyed actor.
Because they do this to be gender neutral. Becomes something else. Sydney does not speak much about her politics, but she supported BLM. They care about that. Her mere appearance in a plunging neckline on Saturday Night Live led the right-wing blogger Richard Hanina to declare that wokeness is dead. And again, that's the thing. It's not that all of this is being driven by jealousy, masquerading as either victimhood points or as a message, an underlying hidden message, just because they don't agree with, something being beautiful again.
Okay, why don't we go into a few of the reactions, because I did find them pretty entertaining when I was trying to get some assets for the story.
So there is this Pilates teacher who I had seen before in a different discourse, in a different controversy on TikTok surrounding this lady influencer that was saying Pilates is not for fat people, which, I mean, if they can do it, sure, but it could be damaging for some joints. But it says, from Libs of TikTok, Pilates teacher says she will make her Pilates class extra hard for anyone involved in the Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ad. How will she know? But whatever.
And good hard exercise is good for the body. People that go to classes want them to have the hardest class if they want results. That being said, what is she doing? Giving shitty classes for liberals that aren't going to ever get results? Let's watch this.
If anyone from American Eagle who was involved in the creation of Sydney Sweeney's most recent advertisement booked into my Pilates class, I would give them the hardest exercise class that I was capable of doing on the lightest possible spring load with 0 breath cues. And I would make it the toughest exercise class that they'd ever experienced in their lives.
Be scared. Get scared.
That's kind of what I want when I sign up for a Pilates class. I want it to be hard.
These people are so dumb. These people are so dumb. And the voice, what's with the voice? And I was also going to say, one thing that I don't find attractive at all about Sydney Sweeney is that she has this like sinusy, nasally tone of voice that now girls are doing. I don't know if it's because they're, actually have a health problem, or if it's just now the way people speak. By like, she kind of sounds like in my jeans.
Yeah, but I will say this about Sydney Sweeney. She's already, she's on the verge of becoming a modern superstar. She isn't quite there yet, but the roles she's being offered right now are extremely good roles. They're the right roles. They're not these shitty Marvel dying IP roles. There's things like Gundam and other roles that can really appeal to, I would say, men.
And that's fine, again. But she might be the last of her breed of kind of a celebrity superstar actress, because we've seen them also try to remove that because they bring up actors and actresses and nobody cares about.
Well, and conservatives are really going to get behind her on whatever movie she does next, as long as she picks the right movie.
Unless she comes out and apologizes or says something about it, which she shouldn't. Don't do that. But from Xavier Durousseau, whom I love, and I love how he puts things.
I just thought this was a random guy. I had never seen
No,
him.
Xavier Durousseau, he's with, or he used to be with PragerU. I don't know if he still is, but Sydney Sweeney's great denim rack Walk With Me. I love his Walk With Me's. He's great. If you don't follow him, go follow him.
Determining traits like hair color, personality.
That little nasally thing annoys me to no end.
And even eye color. My jeans are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has her jeans.
Only unfortunate-looking women and gay men who want to be women are hating on Sydney Sweeney. Now walk with me. Hot white people, this is your sign to stop being ashamed of your Caucasian excellence. Liberals are losing their minds because Sydney Sweeney isn't ashamed to be a blonde, blue-eyed white woman. The American Eagle ad is not fascist. It just shows that the high BMI positivity movement is over. I don't need to see every skin tone, gender identity, and weight class in order to buy a product. I want to see hot people, and Sydney's denim jeans rack is uniting our country. Notice how no one hotter or more successful than you is concerned about what you wear, do, or look like? Exactly. Hot people get it, and we've all been wronged by unfortunate-looking people.
Determining traits like.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a great hot take, I think. That was better than I ever
I love Xavier Durousseau. But also, I mean, there's this also stupid undercurrent as well, where they're saying that this is like man with a mustache, and it's the similar to or coming towards the Eugen space Nix movement, and that this is what they're trying to do and the Aryan race, blah, blah. This is insane because at the same time, a lot of these very liberal, big, annoying women are supporting one of the biggest examples in corporations that has brought forth the Eugen space Nix movement in the past century, which is Planned Parenthood, whom through Margaret Sanger, and look up history because YouTube won't let me talk about it too much, look up what Margaret Sanger's actual intention was with putting and creating Planned Parenthood and then putting it in certain neighborhoods to get rid of certain people. And that yet they cry and now are crying even more and trying to block Trump's, orders so Planned Parenthood cannot be funded by the government, etc. So it's the hypocrisy and the lack of knowledge and, forethought before they speak.
Yeah, it wasn't just the Margaret Sanger movement that brought eugenics in. It's always progressiveness throughout history where eugenics is constantly being brought in. So it's kind of hypocritical for them to start saying something now.
But unfortunately, and as I said, don't apologize, but they are, from PR Week, American Eagle pulled some videos from controversial Sydney Sweeney campaign. Did it need to? Was that a smart move from the brand, or are you confused about the hate campaign that has received? American Eagle has reportedly removed several videos from its social media channels with the brand Sydney Sweeney Has Great Jeans campaign following backlash. The clothing retailer's ad campaign plays on the word jeans, and everybody knows, and they show the ad. Don't do it. Just keep the ads. Just go into, if you're seeing your stock go up, then why would you stop the campaign?
It went up $2. That was a huge boost. It was down to $11.30 the last time I checked, and that was because they started pulling the ads. So conservatives stopped getting behind it, stopped turning it into the next GameStop stock.
And at the same time, with American Eagle, I mean, look into who the owner is. And now that they're being called, man with the mustache, rhetoric, etc., the man is a pretty woke, older Jewish man. So the fact that they're saying that the brand is pushing forth, all of this propaganda from the 40s is completely wrong. 30s.
They're somewhat of the Ben and Jerry's of jeans.
Yes.
So.
Or of clothing brands. Now, it used to be owned by someone. It used to be owned by someone else. But from lips of TikTok, and this is the ad you were saying is similar. First, leftists had a complete meltdown over Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle ad. Now they're having another meltdown over a new similar ad by Dunkin' Donuts featuring actor Gavin Castellagno. No idea who that man is. They never stop complaining, and that's the whole point. They need something to complain about when they're not complaining about the Cheeto in charge.
Look, I didn't ask to be the king of summer. It just kind of happened. This tan? Genetics. I just got my color analysis back. Guess what? Golden summer. Literally. I can't help it. Every time I drink a Dunkin' Golden Hour refresher, it's like the sun just finds me. So if sipping these refreshers makes me the king of summer, guilty as charged.
And I'm pausing it for the music, but I also don't understand this Gen Z obsession, especially from girls, over these twink-looking guys. They're not that attractive. Maybe I'm just too old now and they seem like children to me, which is probably also true. But why are they... Does he look very masculine to you? No.
Well, let's go... what I was going to say is I thought that when I seen that ad, because it came up and I was trying to prepare this story, I said that's going to appeal to LGBTQ community, especially guys within that community. Straight guys, obviously, it's not going for, and then I don't think most girls were going to go for that, but you were saying modern girls are kind of going for that twink aesthetic.
Yes, well, almost since One Direction as well. I mean, we've had Justin Bieber. That's kind of that's in the same vein as those from a millennial era, I would say. But yes, the masculinity has been stripped further and further away, and these new guys that do thirst traps on TikTok, which I don't see, but I've seen other people comment on it.
Oh, I'm also going to say this. I'm not sure, they're trying to say this is a white Eurocentric ad, again, just like Sydney Sweeney. If I had to guess, I would say that guy was mixed race. So.
Well, he's very tan. But maybe.
When this Dunkin' Donuts thing snowballs, it's not going to surprise me at all if this guy comes out as mixed race. So.
And at the same time, it's again trying to find something where because I mean, a few years ago before the data breach and before it came out that it wasn't a good idea to send your spit and all your whole genome over to get analyzed, that was a big thing. People were very into 23andMe and Ancestry.com and all of those things to figure out where they actually come from. But now speaking of anything about genetics is, bad. Some kind of ist or ism.
Okay, let's go into the WNBA, and they are getting more than what they collectively bargained for.
So from Tim Pool, and I can't say the word, but you can read it there. It starts with a D, ends with has an L in the middle, and ends with a doe. A giant toy, we can't say that word either, was just thrown onto the WNBA court.
Yeah, and one moment before you play it, it's going to be hard to see, and they're going to replay it twice, but at the end they're going to zoom in so we can actually see what happened here. I didn't let the video play to the end the first time, and I couldn't actually see it.
It says just end the WNBA already.
Hayes gets blocked by Maya Caldwell. Something flies on the ball, actually, from the crowd. The officials will say they will continue play as that goes off the fingertips of the Valkyries.
Yeah. So I would actually expect this to happen more and more and more. They were wearing the shirts, pay us what you owe us. Well, the fans are going to give you what they owe you. They're basically saying, go screw yourself. Let's keep playing the video here.
And you can see the object, the block right there. The object comes, that green thing bounces, and it goes to the sideline.
Just a moment.
Okay.
We're not exactly we're not sure where it came from.
God.
No room for any of that type of activity. Yeah, and no one's picked the object up yet. You guys, oh my gosh, okay.
Okay, and if you've ever
hopefully it was not used.
And if you've ever been to a hockey game when they score 3 goals and you get a basic hat trick when one player scores 3 goals, everybody throws thousands of hats onto the ice. It's quite the moment. I'm not going to be surprised if this becomes a thing and everybody starts throwing these things on the court as kind of a meme. People buying tickets to the WNBA just to kind of do this. It wouldn't surprise me.
But at the same time, like, the WNBA is full of lesbians. So, I mean, it's a useful tool, let's just say, for them as well. I just hope it wasn't used. But as a commentary on their whole pay us what you owe as well, I mean, it does make sense as well. So I don't know if it was a fan that liked them, because who would go and pay tickets just to do that? I don't know how much are tickets? Because if it's more than like,
they give them away for free quite often.
Okay, then sure.
So yeah.
But again, I mean, the which way it comes from, I'm not sure. But
well, I even know the Dodgers. That's a baseball team, but when they were really bad, the tickets were $3 at some points. So that's when I was growing up. But the WNBA, it can't be more than $10 for a ticket. That gets international exposure. I think you're going to see more and more of this. There was this major backlash against the WNBA, this pay scandal, them wanting to go on strike, all the things Angel Reese says, the way they treat Caitlin Clark. I mean, something like this could really catch fire if this keeps happening, and then the WNBA is going to have to put out a statement, don't bring this to the game, don't throw these on the court, and that's going to create even more of an uproar.
But they're all lesbians. It's in their bags and stuff. Maybe someone was returning it. Like, thanks for last night.
Okay, let's go.
At that bar they weren't let into. But as People says, WNBA game halted after adult toy flies onto court. Something flies on the court, actually from the crowd, and you can see the object, the green thing, bounces and it goes to the sideline. Then they're trying really hard not to say the word, but I mean, the Atlanta Dreams game against the Golden State Valkyries on Tuesday night had an ending no one could predict. I mean, maybe some people. As the final seconds wound down and the teams fought for the win on Tuesday, July 29th, the broadcast showed a green object being thrown onto the court, later identified as an adult toy. And I guess they don't say where it comes from. Security referees and the team representatives could be seen discussing the incident on the sidelines as the camera zoomed in to see the green object.
If this becomes a meme and people start going to the actually buying tickets to go throw this on, and it happens in mass, just like with the hats in the NHL, but the NBA actually starts turning a profit because people want to throw these on the court to be part of a meme culture. Will they tell these people not to do it? Will they deny them entry into the game? That's going to be interesting to see, because the WNBA could potentially turn a profit here if this catches on. Okay, let's go into Ice Cube, actually. It's part of this story, though, because he has a 3-on-3 league.
What's a 3-on-3 league?
3-on-3 basketball league on the off season of the NBA. So
Still don't know what that is.
yeah, it's called the Big Three. Why don't you read and then you'll kind of learn about it, I think.
Sure. From Pro Football Network, Ice Cube gets brutally honest on why the Big Three offered $5 million contract to Caitlin Clark and not Angel Reese. In March 2024,
That's all right.
as the Iowa Hawkeyes, led by superstar Caitlin Clark, made their run to the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship game, news broke that the Big Three League had extended a $5 million contract offered to the college basketball phenomenon. To put this into context, her WNBA contract pays Clark $338 million?
Thousand. She
56,
basically
sorry.
gets around $76,000 a year, which isn't much, but the NBA loses money year after year. When her contract comes up for renegotiation, she will have a big contract. They're not trying to steal her with this Big Three league. It's actually done in the off season for players to kind of stay in shape, but it does get extremely high ratings. Caitlin Clark, they've identified as somebody that they could really build the women's division in this 3-on-3 league for. There's nobody else that will really bring an audience in. Angel Reese, she can make social media headlines, but she doesn't bring fans into the stadium, and she is not skilled whatsoever.
In a video clip that TMZ posted on Sunday, the musician and entrepreneur was asked about Reese whether the league would be open to offering the Chicago Sky Star contract. He responded, "Yeah, she's a great player. Now the thing with Caitlin Clark, it was just, I won't lie, millions of dollars for the league because of his stardom. That's what our sponsors were telling us." He then explained that the Big Three sponsors did not give him the same input about the two-time All-Star from Chicago. They didn't tell us the same thing about Angel Reese, so I don't know if we can make the same offer.
Yeah, the entire league, the entire future of the WNBA really rides on Caitlin Clark's shoulders. Are they going to start treating her better? Are they going to really lean into her for promotions and the future of the league? She could be the Michael Jordan of that league if they would let her be that. They're doing everything to hamstring her at this point, and they're trying to put Angel Reese and other players that just aren't good up as really the MVPs of the league.
And he said, I don't think we can make the same offer because it won't have the same impact on the league.
Yeah, you're going to sell jerseys, and you're going to sell merchandise, you're going to pack seats, you're going to get TV contracts with Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese just doesn't do that. She can make social media controversies through different kind of
scandals,
herself out through sexual scandals, things of this nature, saying
That's true.
salacious things on her podcast, but she doesn't do it with her basketball skills on the court like Caitlin Clark does.
Mm-hmm.
And Caitlin Clark, there was I don't know if there were meme rumors or not, but what's Donald Trump's son's name again? Barron Trump. There was rumors that she was dating Barron Trump. They weren't true, but
because of the height.
It was because of the height. It was a fun rumor when it was going
How
around.
tall is Barron Trump?
Oh, he's got to be around 7 feet. I think he was 6'8".
What's the tallest human ever?
Oh, 8 foot, 9 foot. So you have
Because he god damn it, in feet, 6'7".
6'7", so he's not that tall.
But he looks gigantic.
He looks gigantic because he's in a suit.
And he's tall. He's skinny as well, so
Yeah.
he just looks like a long pole.
And well, he's actually 6'7". So a lot of people that are tall in Hollywood and in movies, they exaggerate their height. Even people that are short in Hollywood, anytime you're talking about people.
6'9" now I'm seeing.
Oh yeah, they usually exaggerate their height. Barron Trump has no reason to exaggerate his height, so I would expect him to actually be whatever it is, 6'7" or 6'9". He looks more like 6'9".
6'9", yeah. Because Trump isn't that short either, right? I mean, everybody to me is tall because I am very short. So.
Well, speaking of Trump, why don't we go into his last rival, which is Kamala Harris?
Yes. So from Benny Johnson, breaking, Kamala Harris officially rules out a run for California governor. Didn't even know she was thinking about that.
Oh, yes, she was. And she was actually talking about going for president again. If she's not going for governor here, I don't think she has any chance for president. She's been kind of surrounded by scandal. We're going to talk about the most recent in just a moment. But before we do that...
do you want me to read this statement?
Well, I was going to say, okay, yeah, read the statement.
So, her statement from today: over the past 6 months, I have spent time reflecting on this moment in our nation's history and the best way for me to continue fighting for the American people and advancing the values and ideals I hold dear, like transitioning illegal migrants. I'm a devout public servant, and from the earliest days of my career, I have believed, blah, 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 blah. In recent months, I have given serious thought to asking people of California for the privilege to serve as their governor. I love this state and its people and its promise. It is my home, but after deep reflection and seeing the polls, I've decided that I will not run for governor in this election.
Yeah, and I think if she did run for governor, we would have seen somebody from the GOP or the Republican, which is the Republican Party, actually win. Last time that happened was Arnold Schwarzenegger. That being said, the Democrats recently held a kind of a youth rally, and she was supposed to be one of the main speakers. There was 3 people there, and they were probably all journalists. So she's speaking to audiences of 0. When she doesn't have $1 billion, they literally invested $1 billion into her campaign to pump her up and make her look like something that she wasn't. Now that she doesn't have that, she can't even pay people to go watch her. So, Governor of California, she would basically be handing California over to the Republicans on a silver platter.
She probably should, but...
Well, they kind of need to. They need to restructure the economic formatting of the California legislature and a lot of other things within that state if they want to really revive the state, because people are leaving in mass, businesses are leaving in mass, the investment just isn't coming in.
And CNN is obviously very sad about this. Kamala Harris will not run for California governor in 2026. In the aftermath of her loss to President Donald Trump, Harris and her team indicated that she would take some time to assess her next steps, which included considering a run for governor. But no. But Harris has also faced skepticism from some home state Democrats concerned about baggage from her unsuccessful White House campaign and White House career, and the potential drag across the state's battleground U.S. House districts that could be pivotal in the midterms.
Okay, and let's go to the last clip I got, and the most recent scandal she's been in, and this scandal has been going for over a year since the campaign was going, that she was paying people to endorse her. She was giving it to NGOs, that those NGOs were then funneling it to different public figures. She was also paying it directly to public figures, independent corporations, saying it wasn't a direct payment to the figure but to their corporation. Therefore, it's a legitimate payment, not for an endorsement but for publicity.
Yes.
So let's hear them trying to refute this.
And it's none other than one of the biggest race grifters in the United States, I believe.
She wouldn't have to pay for an endorsement like this. This should be a natural endorsement, but...
So Amuse says, paid to play Kamala Harris campaign helped Reverend Al Sharpton hide pay-to-play endorsement payments, according to the National Black Church Initiative, a coalition of black churches that urged MSNBC to suspend Sharpton for the arrangement.
Good to see you. We have a couple questions for you on this, but let's just start simply with the accusation that President Trump has leveled at you. Were you paid for an endorsement?
Well, absolutely not. And as the FEC filings say, they helped the campaign, gave funds for Get Out the Vote campaigns for National Action Network, of which I'm a part of, and other civil rights groups, some which got more than National Action Network did.
And that's kind of what's being claimed. Are they giving it to NGOs, other organizations, to celebrities, shell company corporations, rather than paid directly? Obviously, they can't make the payment directly, but they can follow the money, kind of what bank accounts were these funneled into after. And there's a lot of evidence suggesting that Kamala Harris might be in a lot of trouble, and they don't want this scandal coming up, especially if she was in a campaign for governor of California.
National Action Network, nor I even endorsed her. What is interesting about this, though, is that the fact that this is as you accurately reported, second or third time, lawyers for National Action Network was looking at, can we sue him for defamation? Because he had knowledge this time that there was no endorsement and that I didn't get any money. This went to the nonprofit that I'm connected to. But let's look at the larger picture here. Donald Trump is in very serious
Yeah, if it went to the nonprofit he's connected to, and then the money from that nonprofit went into maybe his private bank account, I would say that is evidence. He's not kind of refuting that or bringing that up. He's just bringing up phase one, which is kind of what's being alleged here.
And we have seen this happen time and time again with NGOs and using it as ways to funnel money around or pay people without actually, outwardly paying them, from the Vancouver housing crisis to the migrant hotels in all over the States, all over the UK. Like, evidence has come up that a lot of these NGOs are just set up to, get some people rich.
Yeah. Definitely, and the way they've cut off USAID, although it's a completely different subject, it's really cutting off the money. So going into the next campaign and governors' campaigns, hopefully people realize the government's now watching these kind of CD transactions, and hopefully it helps stop different electoral corruption.
Yes.
And let's head over to RUM.
Oh, already?
Yeah.
It's early.
Well,
okay.
We had a whole other show you like to speak hours on.
Yeah, but I start till 8, Mexico City time.
Okay, we're going to head over to RUM.
Oh, and Rafa's here. Hold on. Rafa says, hello, guys. Microphone sounds very crappy. Thank you for letting us know.
Oh,
we did
my
not
microphone
like
was not
that.
on.
Oh, sorry
That's
about
why
that.
nobody was watching the entire time.
Thank you for letting us know. But, well, hopefully you all heard me. I did have a lot to say.
Oh, my God.
Now he's going to think about this for the rest of the
I was
night.
wondering why nobody was watching. I should have checked that. Oh.
But instead he wanted to yell at me for stopping our dog from choking.
If I would have went and sat over there, my microphone would have worked.
True. Thank you for letting us know, Rafa. Thank you for being here as well.
Oh, God.
You were the only one that was able to tell us, because we can't hear ourselves even with the headphones on. We just hear whatever's playing. We can't hear the microphones because that annoys me. So we paused that feature. But now he's checking. Now he has to check. But yes, I'll take over the show, I guess. We're heading over to RUMBLE to discuss the new Mexico's digital ID. There's no other way to say it. And could it or could it not be properly implemented? So I think it is an interesting discussion. It is kind of scary that they do want to make it, force you have to use it. It's going to be enforced, but who knows if they will be able to. And Rafa says, guys, phase was hilarious. And we're just here to entertain you, Rafa, with all of our, technical mistakes. As they'll keep happening, because we're human, we're not AI.
Rookie mistakes. Gosh darn it.
But yes,
nothing upsets me more than when I do that.
Nothing upsets him.
I haven't done it in so long.
I can confirm nothing upsets him more. And he'll be talking about this the rest of the night. And thinking about it while I do my show and talk on for hours and hours on end. But yes, catch me at 8 p.m. Mexico City time in Spanish in our Spanish channel if you're interested. I also just released a video today about Meghan Markle and her disastrous Netflix deal and just going over all her other disasters, essentially. I mean, judgment time has come for the Sussexes, ex-Sussexes, don't even know anymore. But go watch that as well if you haven't watched it. We're trying to get all our edited videos out and to be watched by more and more people because YouTube still is trying to figure out what we're doing with this channel. So help us out and go watch it. And we're going to go over to RUMBLE now. We'll see you over there in a few seconds.
Okay, we got 87 subscribers over on Rumble, so we got one more.
Thank you.
We're 13 away from getting to our goal of 100, where we can become